Mrs. Nesbit. Oh no, why? Oh, because of the balloons. Hi. So today's my birthday. I've been real in my healed Chiron and Leo today. It is. Hello, Matthew. How are you doing tonight? And as always, the love is mutual. But yeah, I have a few like friends, especially coworkers, who like I just met. I was like, but usually I don't say anything on my birthday because I don't want the attention. But over the years, I've had enough people that I care about who care about me be like, well, you should have told me it was your birthday. Like, I wish you would have told me it was your birthday. So I've been telling people today, I'm trying to heal this Chiron in the little ways, in the little ways that I can. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate it. So I have 3 decks in front of me, and it's all about me today. This is going to be my read. Not like I don't read myself any other day, um, or not like I need like a special occasion. Also, like I heard from I don't the love today like has been amazing. From coworkers to friends to family to like people I haven't like heard from in years, and I'm like, what? I was like, oh, that was so thoughtful. Thanks for reaching out to me. Yes, today is the actual birthday. I am not a leap year baby. I am a 28th of February baby. So today is the day that I will pull myself cards. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to pull the second card, the 28th card, because I'm born on 2/28, and then the 31st card because I turned 31 today. I'm going to use the Tarot Apocalypsis for life up until now, sort of like the gift that 30 minus is giving me as I go to 31 plus. I'm going to pull the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards for something to be mindful of, I guess. And then the SKT Revelations for like moving forward into this year. I have my Merry Everything I think I actually got this one from Menards because my dollar store glass one broke. And it was the one that said my horoscope said this would happen. And I shattered it in the sink. I was like, oof. And I don't know what happened to my other one. I don't think I broke that one too. It might be at my mom's place. I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm definitely feeling the love today. My coworkers tried to surprise me. But like, we do stuff for birthdays. So I kind of like knew it was happening. And then one of my coworkers came in early and I didn't see her. And like she was gone, my boss was gone, and another coworker was gone. I was like, okay, like obviously they're going to get something. But I was still surprised and I still liked it, and the cards were nice. Yeah, and then I haven't even made it to all the socials yet because I know that may take some time. But um, yeah, I was like, I'll let my inner Leo shine today. It's my day. It's my birthday, even though I didn't like plan anything for it. Oh, what? That's crazy. 28-year-old Patrick was a different man. Right? Where was I at 28? That was what, 3 years ago? So 2021? On my 28th birthday, I don't think I had a job yet because I started in August of 21. And then I left in December of 22. Um, So August of 21, or for my birthday of 21, I had just gotten my degree. Um, I had just completed my coursework. I was at home in my mom's place reading cards, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else was that. I feel like I should go back now. Oh, hold up, wait. No, that was 2020. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, anyway. Thank you. I guess people have kids next door. They may be trying to sleep. So let me not be too loud. But we're getting a little toasty tonight. I'm drinking mead. I'm like, what is that? Who are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so sleepy though. I feel like my new minimum hours of sleep is like 7.5. Because when I get 7, it's not enough. I used to be able to function on like 6. Excuse me. I don't need to drink the whole thing. Oh, that's all that's left. As always, this video isn't sponsored by anything except for responsible consumption of controlled and uncontrolled substances. I'm already ready for bed. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do it. So sweet for Patrick on his birthday. I was like, let's flex this Leo a little bit. Things are. What's the general state of Patrick? I don't know. The general state of Patrick is such in flux. I feel like I'm like do this a little bit. You know what I mean? But today was again because I had no plans. I was just gonna go to work, come home, go to sleep. Um, but it was really nice that my coworkers and my friends and my family have showed 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This card flipped over when I was shuffling it. It was the King of Cups, 2 of Cups, Queen of Cups, 4 of Wands, Hierophant, Justice. Okay. But this is the past. Yeah, thank you. That's why I was like, I have my Merry Everything. My Merry Everything Christmas cup with the Christmas tree and the balloons. Yeah, it was nice. It's real noise. Okay. Oh, now the King of Cups. Oh, it was the King of Cups, 2 of Cups. Yeah, anyway. All right, so 30 minus. I kind of want to pull these simultaneously, actually. So I'm going to give this one a few. Oh, and look, there's the 2 of Cups. And the Hector. Oh. Now it's the Warrior on the 2 of Cups. The Sign and the 2 of Cups. I'll take it. Yeah, there's just like interesting energies in the atmosphere if you know what I mean. And I just found out that I need to start saving up money to go on another trip to India. So my one best friend just got married, and another one of my, I don't know if I would like, I feel like she's one of my best friends, but I wouldn't call her a best friend, which is weird to me because like she sits in my heart as a best friend. So I guess I would call her a best friend. But I like to like give my best friends distinct categories. And I have a few best friends that I met at school. And so like her category would be like um nebulous. Like I don't have to break them down into categories. Maybe it's no, I don't think it's that. At the very least, she's a really, 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 really amazing friend. Actually, yeah, she's one of my best friends. She's one of my best friends. She is. Because now I'm thinking about like our friendship, and I'm like, yeah, she's one of my best friends. So another one of my best friends, I actually went to her U.S. wedding with another one of my best friends in 2022 because we were a few months out from the plant closing down. And now they're going to have their, she just let me know that they're going to start planning their India wedding. So I'll be going back. Okay. I just found out. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm like, I need to save up. The corn and the serpent. Interesting. All right, all right. What's a triple conjunction? Is that an Aquarius? Is this how I'm going to do this? So 31 is bringing the wheel of life, which is Jupiter. And I'm a Pisces, traditionally ruled by Jupiter. And who doesn't love a good wheel of fortune energy? What is the mystical shaman? Was that like the energy like nowish or something like that? I don't remember. Is, excuse me, wind number 63. Wind in the wheel of life makes things feel very up in the air. Oh, look, there's a little hawk falcon thing. I saw the hawk yesterday. I don't remember what it meant. I don't remember what it means. And I tried to sign up for on all the apps that I didn't put my birthday into. Tragic. Need free food. I did get my Starbucks free drink today, but apparently I think people are like boycotting Starbucks or something. And I literally had no clue. I was like, what? So I didn't pay him though. I need to look into it because my brother said something about it, but I thought he was just playing. And then I saw something on the internet last night, I think. And I was like, oh. I have to look into it. You know, I'm down with the cause most of the time, if not all the time. Most of the time, we'll say. 30 minus is the Prince of Swords. Interesting. Oh, look. Not the Prince of Swords riding the hawk. Now the hawk is chilling. Oh, okay. That makes me feel so. There's something that 30 minus, like I wrote it up to 31 and now it's done because the hawk is resting and the person is here. It's like the energy of the hawk is returned to the wind. And then there's like thunder on here. Is this low key? It might be low key. It may not be. Oof, why do I like if I'm just looking at this, it feels like I'm just getting dumped in the middle of somewhere. Right in the hawk, and then the hawk is like, okay, you're done. And then it's just like Wheel of Fortune. Which is great, I guess, because I do want, I guess, a lot of things in my life to change for the better. Where's the book? Oh, is it right here? It's right here. I just put the cards on top of it. Oh, goodness, I'm so sleepy. But yes, I appreciate the birthday wishes. I was like, let me go live. So if people want to wish me happy birthday on my birthday, I almost made a community post. They can. Who am I looking for? Why am I looking for the moon? Cups, Pentacles, all of the court cards are on the back. Pentacles are last, I'm pretty sure. Sappho. There's the cups. King of Swords, okay. Odin, God of Wisdom, Sacrifice, and Battle. I didn't even, so I used this deck yesterday. I didn't like read the book for this. So I got these 3 books from the library. And I'm trying to take a page out of Ring's book. It was questionable yesterday. In an airport. Wait, I mean, if coffee keeps you awake at night, you know, you're going to bed, right? I don't know. I get the I was on campus one summer and everybody was obsessed with it. And I had dining dollars. And the drink of the summer that summer was a matcha lemonade. So that's like, I get matcha from Starbucks. I get matcha lemonades a lot of times. I got, it's a TikTok drink, a matcha latte with vanilla sweet cream, 2 pumps chai, and light ice today. It was too sweet. I was like, oh, usually I don't complain about things being too sweet, but it was for me on today. Breer is drunk. What? Oh, yeah. I remember her. Is this Loki? Loki, god of rebellion, cunning, and deceit. So there was some rebellion, some cunning, and deceit that ended. Maybe. I don't know. Sky treader, mind tester, slanderer, originator of deceit, liesmith, most cunning, and adversary of the gods. A plethora of words accompany me, yet they beguile away from the truth. I am not to be bound or set down. The very gods tried to bind me beneath the earth, and still I broke free of my chains. Okay, yeah, that's relevant. Like Maya Angelou said, and still I rise. I ain't gonna stop rising. The creme de la creme. They have called me air and sky, thunder and fire. Great is my reputation, feared is my name. They swear oaths and make laws, casting judgment upon those that would break them. Yet those very oaths bind them from action and triumph. Then they ask the serpent father, the one who can speak and do what is taboo. Then I trick and twist the world to my ends, to their ends, and I revel in my artifice. I am my only master, and I serve no mistress except she who was called World Breaker. The truth cannot help but rush forth from within me, tripping over my tongue and aiming sharp at its audience. You wish to hide your sins, cower in secrecy, and paint your ugliness with niceties? I shall destroy those facades and take you up into a storm of strife. I am the necessary truth that heralds battle. I am the breaker of chains and the liberator. When I speak, I change the world. That's what the book said. Oh, and then the wind is here. Are we due for. I looked this up before in the wave spell because we should be due for white. Or is this year white? I can't remember which one was coming next. What? What? Sorry. My friend is telling me that my other friend moved to like DC. That's crazy. Oof. Well, then the Wheel of Fortune is here. The Wheel of Life. It's the Wheel of Life here. Jupiter being the planet of expansion, wind being an element. That isn't necessarily. Ooh, hold up. What is this? Is this an eclipse or is that a little moon? You see, hold up, wait. Beneath the falcon's feet, it won't focus. But I don't know if that's a little moon or if that's a little eclipse. I guess this is the year. You're you're gonna make a coffee. Nothing vital here tonight. Oh, but see, look. This giant falcon has a wheel too. And like, look at the sphinxes, how they have like their claws on the wheel, just like the falcon. Just like them little birds that be perching on my window screens. Interesting. Okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. We have the convalescent Jupiter in Libra, which is the Four of Swords. So we go from Jupiter to Jupiter in Libra. My Jupiter is actually in Libra. It's retrograde, but my Jupiter is in Libra. Libra is actually inconjunct in my chart. It rules nothing. But it holds my retrograde Jupiter. I'm interested to see where this goes. This may be an interesting little personal synchronicity for me. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know if it, I'm sure it can be confirmed. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. The Sacrifice. This card comes out constantly. 44. which isn't 8 if we don't, you know, keep the 44 as a 44. So the mystical shaman is going 9-8. Mystical shaman is counting down. That's I guess the link there. And then, and even their I Ching hexagrams, one is like the mirror of the other, if you can see them down there. Like if you turn them upside down, it'll give you the other one. So we got Jupiter and Libra. We got 9-8. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I'm almost remembering the dream I had last night for some reason. In the dream I had last night, I had like a big house, but I feel like I was in like Florida. I had a house in like Florida, and there were some parts of the house that were just susceptible to animal attacks. It was like the animals just like roam around. I guess I've been having dreams about animals, but I remember it was like, well, gators might be in here. I don't know if they have bears in Florida. And Wilson the refined grizzly. I'm on here like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I shared the thing. Have I talked about it? Have I been live since I made that community post about the stuff I found at the library? So I found ghosts better than people. And I was like, are we still in this whole for me thing? And then I opened up another book, and it was talking about foxes. Because the coyote came out, but it carries fox energy. And then the fox was in the animal spirits. And it was talking about how everything was in pounds, by the way. But it was talking about like losses that farmers suffer due to foxes. But then it was like, the fox isn't even the farmer's greatest enemy. It's actually rabbits, because rabbits probably like eat a lot of crop that they shouldn't. And so the losses from rabbits, and they proliferate like crazy, is actually higher. But then with the rabbit, especially in the well-known animal spirit, symbolizing not only like a fear, skittish mentality, but also like negative self-fulfilling prophecies, because the rabbit basically invites itself to be eaten by the eagle. And then like fear was a thing. And then there was a thing about the thunderbird, and fire was giving me like lava, which gave me Joaquin Young. But anyway, why was I talking about that? Because the rabbit and the fox. There's almost this like lay down your arms type energy here, I feel like, with the sacrifice and the Four of Swords, especially coming off of that battle-y Loki energy. The card of the past is the Eight of Wands, though. Is that another bird? Is that another one? Falcons all over this thing. In a different suit. Let's see. It's focused. We're focused. Some kind of bird. Lots of birds. And then the lion. It's interesting, this Eight of Wands. Because as a card that's supposed to symbolize the past, in my own life, There's no, like, I don't have the ability. I don't have the ability to know when I was supposed to be and where. And I say that because the Eight of Wands has so much momentum and celerity to it. I love the tarot apocalypses. You got your coffee? Don't blame me if you're up all night, Matthew. Matt. Matt, 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 Matt. Matt, 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 Matthew. What greater joy is there than to soar above all, riding the winds? Oh, the winds. Okay, of ambition. Riding the winds of ambition and beyond the mountains of expectation. Many cry out to those who take to flight, warning them against the soaring, predicting a great fall. Some watch in envy at the flight they dare not make. A very few precious souls, warriors and hunters all, resolve to scale those great heights, trailblazing a new path into the horizon. That sounds like Oxenade a little bit. If you walk my burning path, I will show you how to train your sights and set the course of your greatest desires. Where the sun rises, you will rise higher. Where the falcon flies, you will fly faster. Where the lion roars, your war cry will drown it out. You may ignite with the joy of it, with passion and intent, and like the flaming arrow, your soaring will further fuel the source of your desire. You will fly straight and true to your goal, but remember that the beginning requires an explosive burst of focus and will, energy and passion. Without this, your path will be cursed by the earth, slow and steady, stable and dependable, yet utterly uninventive. We do not advance through reinvention. Dare to know. Dare to set your sights upon the heights. Dare to become a warrior of the flaming arrow and a hunter with the falcon speed. Set aflame the arrows of your desire and release them to fly into the very heavens. Oof. Excuse me. That's what my mom will do. My mom will be like, "Oh, it's 2 a.m. I haven't had my coffee yet. Let me go make a coffee." But she's like me, or I'm like her, I guess, because she's my mother. I'm like her that like caffeine doesn't do anything for me. Caffeine doesn't keep her awake either. So we drink coffee for the taste. I like my coffee iced though. I feel like she's more of a hot coffee. My tongue is too sensitive. It burns easy. I got a cat tongue. So is the sacrifice now this energy of like slowing down? Where is this book? I don't know if I like the book too much for the mystical shaman, but I also like to try to pull my own inferences from the cards. We do have a butterfly in the sacrifice, but we have an emerged butterfly. Like coming out of the cocoon, we can still see the pupa bits. And then we have the convalescent Four of Swords. Now, in this deck, it looks like the angel is about to splash, like pour the water onto the person. Like, hey, it's time, it's time to get up, it's time to get moving. Now, this coming after the will of life moving forward, especially with the Eight of Wands. What's interesting is, well, I guess wind is a very active energy. I should have got tea, herbal tea. Yeah, Thai iced coffee. I think there's a Thai on a town over on campus. Um, I think they have a Thai iced coffee. It was pretty good. I only got it once, maybe twice. I usually get the taro milk tea with boba. It's been windy here too. Like literally, it was like 11:40 something last night, and the wind started picking up. It started raining. It kind of started storming a little bit. And I was like, oof, maybe that's this Prince of Swords energy. It got it all out of its system. It was still kind of doing it a little bit at midnight. And it was really cold today. It didn't snow though. And my mom was like, did you ask for this weather? I was like, I don't mind it. I feel like at night, for some reason, it gets really windy, but also maybe that's because I'm at work between 10 and 6. So I wouldn't necessarily know. But like I'll go to bed at night and the winds will start like whipping outside my window. I'm like, oh my gosh. Is there a significant number to me between 1 and 28? Because I want to see what the sacrifice is about. I guess I still have a few more cards to pull. There is a Solaris. See, I feel like this is the year of expedition because that was part of the energy of expedition. And I feel like I've already, yeah, I mean, excuse me, I just turned 31 today. So on the trip to India and especially on the way back, I feel like I was more open to being spontaneous than I would have been necessarily in the past. And in the past, it made sense because of my eyes and my condition. And like I had to be a lot more cautious. I didn't necessarily have to be cautious to the point of not living my life, but I also wasn't giving myself an opportunity to really like try much of anything. Like fear dominated my choices, decisions in my life until I was like, I can't let it do it anymore. But going over there, I was able to experience like, and especially like going with my mom, I feel like if I would have went without my mom, I wouldn't have necessarily like noticed how much I've changed as much, especially when we were in Germany. And it's not even that like because I've traveled before and because I've used public transport before. And that was like basically it. Um, because I was like, yeah, we'll just like we'll get a ticket for the metro, we'll take the metro, ride it until we get here, we'll explore around, and then we'll take it back to the airport. Because when I go to London, I take the Lizzie line from Heathrow to wherever. And then when it's time for me to fly out, I get on the Lizzie line and I take it all the way to Heathrow and then I fly out. So like I'm used to doing that. And it was more of that, like the number of things that I've gotten used to over the years because I've been doing them, even in things as simple as travel. But again, with the eyepiece, how I used to let it dominate my life. And but I feel like there's this low key almost thread of like things picking up pace. And maybe that's a little like because I got a lot of Taurus in me. I got a lot of Taurus raining there in Maine. A heavy windstorm. Oh my gosh. No power or internet for a couple of days. Well, thank you. That was, I know we had basically a severe windstorm not too long after I moved out. I don't know if y'all remember me talking about it, but like I live on the side of town that has a lot of the grocery stores and restaurants. So I got off work. I took a nap and the power came back on. Like the AC kicking in woke me up from my nap. So I was only without power for a few hours, but there were some people who were without power for like days. I think my grandma was out power for like 5 days. Some people it took almost a week to get power back. Um, it was trees down, of course, all over town. One of my coworkers said that like getting out of town was basically a maze because every side street she turned down had another down tree. And she said at one point, I think like a tree had caught on a power line and she had to drive under it. I forgot that happened. But again, like because I had power, like my family would come over here. And that's when my aunt was here. But she doesn't know. Um, I guess she didn't know that I was joking. I was just like giving them a hard time. Um, my mom was like, if Patrick didn't want us here, we wouldn't be here. She was like, he's joking. He's playing because if he didn't want us here, we wouldn't be in here right now. But yeah, hopefully it's not that bad. Like a night without power, I've experienced a few times. Like I remember when I was little and we had kerosene lamps. Um, and like my youngest brother, I think, would be in the bed with my mom and dad. And then I would be on like one side of the floor and my other brother would be on the other side of the floor. And we just like all slept in their room. But yeah, that was the first time it was like, and again, since I was only without power for a few hours, but days, I'm like, oh my gosh. Also, apparently, the sleepies are going around, but I think I'll do that anyway. It feels like, I mean, the Eight of Wands. What's interesting, I guess, is that the Eight of Wands is in the past, and the Four of Wands is this coming up energy. But it feels like things are speeding up. And maybe it's because the archer is stationary. If I look at the image, the archer is stationary, the arrow carries all of the momentum. But with the warrior, if he is to wake up, he's the one that has to like walk and move or like get on the horse. Like the warrior moves, whereas the archer is ideally stationary. I literally just said that, but last year was my year of expedition. So I am significantly more expeditious. I feel like I am a lot quicker with the yeses, um, which was part of what I wanted expedition to give me because 2022, what was my word? Allow, I think. Um, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was allow because at the end of the year of allowance came things that like I really wanted that I hesitated to say yes to. I said no a lot of times, and I didn't want to say no to things that I wanted to say yes to anymore. And it was like there were things that resurfaced at the end of the year of allowance. There were things that impacted me a lot more than I knew they did. I was honestly shocked that I had like hesitation in some areas because of things that had transpired prior. And so my expedition year, again, especially expedition leading into this year, but that was also part of like that was just the energy of the year of expedition. Because in the year of expedition, I got the job that I have now. And in touring and in working that job, I lived literally the job that I have now, if I didn't face my fears where I was, I wouldn't be able to do it. Because it literally almost sent me back into a dark night at the end of 2021. It was like November 2021, around Thanksgiving. And like the thought of having to do it was enough to like have me shook. But because I faced my fears and I did it that year, I was comfortable in enough in the year of expedition to like do it and to get comfortable with it. And that probably in no small part played in my comfortability with like doing other things. Actually, because I had an opportunity to again actively face that fear. Because there was one night in the middle of the night at like 5 a.m. in the winter, so it's still dark outside. We had like a training, like a fire extinguisher training. And like the thought of like walking out in the dark, because with my eye condition, I have basically no night vision. Um, and the thought of doing it like had me scared, but I was like, you know what? I can at least try. And I did, and I made it, and I survived. But again, like there were things that I wanted at the tail end of allowance so bad that I semi reflexively said no. Like even when I didn't semi reflexively say no, when I said yes, when I thought about it was like, oh, no. So I would like go back and say no. And again, I was like, I don't want to say no to things that I want to say yes to. And because of the past few years, I know that I can at least try because I can always give up after I try. Or if something is truly beyond my abilities, I can always like experience that or witness that in that moment. I no longer have to let the fear of it stop me from at least trying. And so then when it came to like, because even my friend, he was like, did you ever think that like you'd be over here in India, like with all of these unknowns and all of this stuff? And I was like, for me, no, it was such a natural extension of who I now am that I'm like, of course, like I told him, I was like, I am not going to miss your wedding. I am going to be there. But the me when we first met, no. Um, and I got to take my Bob, which was cool. Excuse me. And it was a whole experience. And now I get to go back. I hope I get to see my new family. I think it might be in the same, I'm assuming it might be in the same city because my best friend and the husband of my other best friend, their dads were really close. Oh, wait. It may not be. I guess we'll see. I'll see. I don't know. Anyway, like that's what it took for me to be in that Eight of Wands, where I could just be like, oh yeah, I'll do this. Oh yeah, I can at least try. Like it wasn't easy. Like there was definitely the battle and the fight to get there. I don't know if this is the battle and fight card, but sure, because Loki was like, if you want to be free, if you want to break, yeah, breaking chains, that chain breaking energy. That's what it took for me to be there. It's just like the sacrifice and the convalescent is just there's something that still makes me uneasy about it. I'm almost out of wine. That's so sad. It wasn't even. I need smaller glasses. Are you? I don't think you follow me on Instagram, do you? No, maybe not. Well, the great thing about that is while you still draw a breath, it's not too late. Excuse me. I would definitely suggest, though, considering the type of experience that you want to have while you're there. So, in the city that I was in, my best friend lives pretty much in the city center. And so, from his place to a lot of stuff, it's not as inconvenient, I guess, time wise, because the traffic is so unpredictable. And then there's like one street, like one of the main streets at 1 p.m. and 1 a.m., the streets change direction. And so, depending on where you're going, it can be like a fairly quick drive, or if you have to go all the way around, it could be a long one. And so, after the wedding, we moved to the outskirts of town. Um, and so, to me, it wasn't that bad because, I live in the US. I'm used to traveling like half an hour to an hour to get somewhere. You know what I mean? It's not extreme for me. So I didn't mind it. But that is an hour, half an hour to an hour that you lose, that we lost because we didn't want to be out there in the dark because my eyes still. Um, and it's just like, if we would have stayed closer to him, it would have been easier. Like the first hotel we were in, it was literally a 7-minute walk to where he stayed. In our second hotel after the wedding, we moved closer to the city. Excuse me. But that's why I would just be like, what? Can I send you? I can't send you a message. I'll leave you a comment on one of your videos. I know I'm subscribed to you. Um, I just might have to search through my subscriptions. I'm pretty sure I remember. I'll get it to you somehow. I will get it to you. I mean, I didn't. I posted like a reel with a few more pictures that I guess I could just post them for some of them at least. For the rest of the folks who want to see. Um, I've gotten bad at like taking pictures. For one, taking pictures when I travel, and for two, like posting them or posting the good ones. I'll post the bad ones or the questionable ones. I'll mix them in. But anyway, I would just like, because that was a little bit, I feel like there's just a little bit more like fluidity and flexibility, of course, when you don't have to travel like an hour or half an hour to an hour to get to and from where you're staying. But also, like, it's not so busy either. Like, I'm trying to think because there's like a lot of traffic and where we were in Kolkata. Um, I feel like for me, it wasn't that bad. I don't know. Anyway. I guess I could just like post it here. All right, let me know when you're here and I'll type it. And then after like 2 seconds, I'll delete it. So you got to be ready. You got to be ready. And there are some people who have already found me. It's fine. I just don't. All right, Matt, let me know when you're ready for it. I'll hit. Oh, wait. I don't even have to hit enter. I can put it here. Um, I do still have more cars to pull. This is just like concerning to me. I feel like too, like you don't have Instagram? I know a lot of people got rid of their, like somebody I work with was like, I get rid of all my socials. And I was like, that's fair. I get it. Okay. All right. There it is. 5, 4, 3. Wow. I gotta make another one. Hi, LOL. Just so I can bump it up to delete the comment. Oh wow, you're really gonna do me like that? Oh, there we go. I can just click it. Did you get it? You got it. um, yeah, so it's called retinitis pigmentosa, the eye condition. And basically, my peripheral vision, according to the condition, we'll see what happens IRL, because miracles happen every day. But my according to the condition, the peripheral vision decreases until it's like you're basically legally blind. Also, it comes with like it's something with the rods and the cones in the eyes, and the ones that are responsible for detecting light, like they're damaged. And so that's why it's like no night vision, reduced peripheral vision. Also, I developed cataracts, like a super aggressive cataract early in life. And so when I went to the doctor 2020, because that's when I was like, if I'm going to be graduating, I had to. One of the reasons why I would depression spiral out before graduation, it was because of like, by that point, I was comfortable with Purdue and Purdue's campus. And it was like, but if I'm out in the real world, and so I was like, well, let me see like what kind of accommodations and stuff I can get. Let me stop running from my disability and start at least arming myself or equipping myself to handle and face the challenges and obstacles that come with it. And they were like, before we do that, like you just do an eye exam to assess everything. And that's when he was like, whoa, you have very bad cataracts. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's a simple surgery. I was like, oh my gosh. So literally, I ended one semester able to read whiteboards, blackboards, and projectors. And in the beginning of the summer, I was able to read it a little bit because we had training. By the time the next semester started, so literally from May to August, I couldn't read blackboards or whiteboards at all. I couldn't read projectors at all. And I was like spiraling because I was like, oh my gosh, like, and it was something that I didn't want to think about. I got the diagnosis when I feel like in like the seventh or eighth grade. Um, but I was like, if I look into it, like that'll make it real. So I avoided it for as long as I could. And then it even got like video games were an escape for me. Like there were times where I didn't even want to play video games, but I did it anyway because I didn't want to think about the things that I didn't want to think about. Um, but it got to the point where like I couldn't even play them anymore. I was like, my coping mechanism is gone. That's when I hit the darkest night. It was like, so it became difficult to play video games 2016. Or no, I think it was 2017 because I got Final Fantasy 14, 15. I got Final Fantasy 15 and I beat the game. And after I beat the game, the screen went white and it had text on it and I could read it as soon as I beat it. But over the course of like a month, like it got to the point where I couldn't even read the text on the white background. So I was like, not only am I night blind, but now I'm also like white blind. I can't see anything. I had some professors who like um didn't really want to accommodate me even though they had to because of the ADA. And again, like that was at the point that I wasn't necessarily trying to do anything. But after the darkest night, when I lost my vision, declined to the point where I couldn't even play video games. That's when I was like, oof. But that was 2018. That's when I started using like enhanced contrast, night mode, stuff like that on my computer that made it easier to read text. But then when I was going to start like working and when I was going to get my degree, because I was working to finish it up, and I was like, I want to prepare myself as best as I can when I enter the workforce. So I know kind of sort of like what I'm going for. But after I got my cataracts removed, the only thing is like my peripheral vision. Also, sometimes I just don't use my eyes. I don't know. Um, and also, I wasn't like, I feel like because it was something that I was trying to ignore, even like little things that I can do, like look down to make sure I'm not about to run into something, I wouldn't do. Um, but and like my night vision is a lot. I feel like my night vision is significantly better. It's still probably different than like what someone who has a normal night vision. But since I got the cataract surgery, like if there's a little bit of light, it helps a lot because before, like it wouldn't even be that helpful. So now I can drive, I can do a whole bunch of stuff with the cataracts removed. The doctor was like, "Yeah, you're young. Like it's a quick 5 minute procedure and you'll heal pretty quickly." And I did. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it changed my life." But yeah, that's it. This sacrifice and convalescent is throwing me a little bit. All right, so that was 28, 29, 30, 31. We have the lovers. What? Which is Gemini. So, Wheel of Life, the convalescent lovers. This is another. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's been healing. So, if the lovers is in my future, I'll take it. Okay, yes, please. What's interesting though is, I guess, the taglines. The Wheel of Fortune is the Sphinx, destiny turning. And then the Lovers is mystery of the covenant. Um, yeah, I'm like, TikTok I only got because my number one fan was like, follow me. And I was like, okay. 29, 30, 31. We have the child. Number 7. So we have Wind, the Sacrifice, and the Child. Wheel of Life, the Convalescent, the Lovers, 29, 30, 31. The All Gifted. Wow. I don't see this card 222 frequently. Prince of Swords, Eight of Wands, All Gifted. What I like, I feel like this is like, this could be Chiron and Leo. Let's go. This is me being healed AF. It's like the personal demons are put back into the box. Pandora's box gets opened, unleashes all of this stuff upon the world. These two cards in particular is chronicling like the different journeys or the different parts of my healing journey that I've gone on to put the things back in the box, but to leave hope to freely roam about. And now with the All Gifted, it's almost like they're all back in the box again, though. See, butterflies. The butterfly of the sacrifice. I gotta go to the restroom. And I can't hold it. I will be right back. I'm so glad. Oh my gosh. I gotta go. I'll be back. Oh, balloons. They're flying everywhere. just making sure they're all inside. I was trying to run out the door and the balloons were getting in the way. Okay. So, no, I just like, I opened the door and then you see the longer ones? They were just like, they went flying out into the doorway. And I'm like, get out the way, please. Um, so I wear my sunglasses at night, so I do know that song. I have heard it. Oof. Speaking of Will of Life, the Convalescent Brothers, um, but that's also like when I say that life sometimes will be a teacher. I mean, I guess my attitude was like healing anything and everything because I cannot be here. I can't end up in this point again. And then eventually, I guess the more I healed, the more I healed, the less I had to heal from. And then at some point, just like the year of allowance, um, it started to be like healing towards desire, or at the very least, the framework shifted from healing from trauma to healing towards desire. It shifted towards like, I want to be able to say yes to this, or I want to be able to do that, or I want to be at least comfortable trying. And then, of course, after I made the declaration, after I say that, there have been some times I've shaken my fist and I'm like, and then the universe is like, okay, well, if you're ready, prove it. And then I'd be like, oof, I guess I got to prove it because I'm ready. Um, because I want what I want, because I lived what I lived, and I'm not interested in going back. But again, even with that eight of, see, it's like there's plenty of time left in the hourglass. Even with this eight of wands, again, like I've only lived the life that I've lived. I've only lived my experience. So I don't know when I was supposed to reach whatever points within myself or within my journey. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, we're always on time, but it's like something about it with the celerity of the eight of wands. It's like it came quick. And now there's still plenty of time left on the clock in this all gifted energy, all of the horrors back in the box, everything transformed. We see all the butterflies. It's almost like every time one of the personal demons, fears, whatever, went back into the box, a butterfly was released. And then we have the child, which is, I guess, like the newborn babe, which, or it could just, the child could also speak to the lack of experience. And not to like, I guess, put myself out there like that. But if we're like, the lack of experience with the lovers, at least for me, is something that's very, very accurate because I don't have any, I have very little, I'll say, experience with romantic relationship. And part of that was because of what I had chosen to sacrifice. Um, I didn't want to be in a relationship while I was still ignoring all of the things that I was ignoring within myself because I knew it would hinder my ability to show up for. Okay, so it's partially like I knew it would hinder my ability to show up for my partner, and I don't want to, like, I was still running in my own life and I was still being toxic to me. And when it came to the thought of like me being with someone that I would love enough to potentially like marry, or to date, because I'm not the type to really date just to date. No, I ain't gonna say that. Anyway, it's fine. But if I'm like dating, it's like, you know, for the long haul, for the long term. And it's like I never wanted to be the person to like treat the person to be toxic or nasty to and with the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. On the other hand, there was all of the I don't want to be a burden. I don't want for someone else to sacrifice their life and their happiness and their whatever because they get like stuck with me. Now that was back way, way, way back. Like that was sixth, seventh, eighth grade, Patrick, before he went full isolation because his brain went there. Um, because I didn't really see a quality of life for myself after I got the diagnosis. And I did literally like, it's almost like I heard enough of the worst case scenario to really fuel my fear of like, maybe one day I'll just wake up blind and my life will be over and I'll be a burden to everyone that I love and I won't be able to do anything. And I'd rather not than be in that position. And then that on top of other stuff, on top of some other stuff, led me down this mental path where it's like I'm still a child and I'm still dependent upon my parents and my family is my family while I'm living in the house. So I'm going to like not get too dependent or reliant upon them to be there. Also, like I can't change the fact that they are there. So it turned into this like I want to be able to be okay on my own. And so I'm going to put up all these walls. Now, of course, there have been people that I've met. Fortunately, I am a lot of them I probably call best friend. I was blessed with people who were able to like get past those boundaries, even though I wanted them like up. Of course, there were like plenty of people who I wanted to connect with after I like got to know them, but they didn't make it past the boundary in the same way. So I just tortured myself emotionally by not by trying to convince I feel like I wouldn't even try to convince myself to like not get to want people. I would just deny myself and feel whatever type of way about it. Um, oh my gosh. Not everybody trying to make me cry on my birthday. I appreciate that. It took a lot to get here. I mean, I guess I have sides that are very petty, that are very much so, they make me human, like we're all human. um, but that's where my mind was. I was like, I don't want to be a burden on the people that I love. So for most of my life, I chose not to engage in relationships or not to pursue relationships. And um, see, what's up with the song references today? I love it. I was playing, is it New York Times, whatever? It was like 80s fashion. And I think I got some of them. No, I think I got that one. It was headband, neon, and two other things. You're still in the hospital, oh, I guess. Are you doing better in there, Zelda? Hey, how you doing? Um, knocking those walls up. I love Wreck-It Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph is one of my favorite movies. Um, but yeah, it was for that reason that like I never was open to relationships. And so after my darkest night, it was 2019. It was about May, the end of March. It was the end of March 2019 when I was like, and I told my mom. So in Patrick's mind, the reason why Patrick didn't engage, I mean, it was So the reasons that I made to myself were legitimate to me. And just like in general, like, who wants to be toxic or who wants to be like that with the person that they love? I'm assuming not many people. But at some point, I had developed like an anxiety around relationships. I had developed an anxiety around getting to know people in general because I had tried to condition myself not to get close to people and not to like depend or rely on people because if I ended up by myself, I wanted to feel as okay with it as I could feel. Um, and then I told my mom, I was like, I think I have relationship anxiety. And she was like, You didn't know that? I was like, No, because I always had a reason. But now that I'm like starting to heal and now that I'm working on addressing all of the things that like I knew would be hindrances in being vulnerable and opening up and stuff like that, like the anxiety is still there. Um, and that year gave me exactly what I needed. We'll just say that. We'll just say that. Um, yeah, you had surgery. Well, I hope again, like Holly said, recovery goes great, and you can get your son, and y'all find a place. Excuse me. So, in that regard, and in a lot of regards, I am a child. I was talking to Rob about something. I don't even remember what I was talking to Rob about, and Rob was like, he was basically like, it's a part of life. It's a part of growing up. It was probably about like work and maybe like moving out and stuff like that. And probably like, yeah, moving. He was because this is technic. I don't know if I count when I was on campus because I guess like I spent a lot of my time in the dorms, but I did have an apartment for like 2 years. This is my first post graduation place, and it's decent. Like it's fairly nice. Um, and he was like, my first place was a little rough. But that's something that I remind myself of, and that I have to be reminded of. And it's nice to be reminded of often is that, again, like I spent so much of my life worrying about not being able to do certain things and it's this dichotomy of it made sense because that was my life. And so I had, like, it made sense for me to be cautious of all of these things. But at the same time, a lot of times, like, I didn't even try. Um, and I didn't, like, reach out. I didn't use any of my resources. I've been blessed with people who, like, care about me. Um, even when it felt like a curse because I didn't want, and also too, um, if I'm being like real honest, and I've talked about it before, but like I didn't see life for me past 25. I guess I kind of always thought that like something would happen. I, in the worst of ways, I had always hoped that something would happen to me outside of my control before 25. And then, like, if it didn't, then I would take matters into my own hands. Um, and so, and like, again, that was like sixth, seventh, eighth grade. And so I felt like it would have also been cruel for me to get attached to people knowing that like if it doesn't happen before 25 I'm going to do something and I don't want to cause them pain by losing me. That's why I say like the head the head and the heart of Patrick back in the day was rough. It was messed up. Um, but that's another reason why like I didn't want to get close to people. Because then I was like, I didn't want to be mourned. Um, and so there's a lot of stuff that as that as those parts of me have like healed, and as my desire for experiencing life in partnership with my healing has led me beyond um, all of that, there are a lot of things that I never considered or that didn't matter because like nothing mattered. You know what I mean? And so there are some things again that like a child I am open to or like thinking about or experiencing or like thinking about experiencing. Um, but also like I'm an adult. You know what I mean? And so I guess those were the things that I had sacrificed then. Wow. Me too. Cause life is like, and again, like after I got my cataracts removed, the I've been nearsighted all my life. Like my prescription has been severe all my life. And then I get my cataracts removed. And I'm like, and I'm glad, of course, that like there's a part of me that's like, who's to say what the future holds? Whatever. But just for this part of life that I'm in right now, I'm glad that I didn't make any decisions. Um, because my capabilities are completely like what I can see. I would not have had a basis because again, like I've only lived my life. I've only seen through my eyes. I wouldn't have had a basis for like how clearly I would be able to see and how much more capable I would be of like like doing certain things without the need of accommodation that I wasn't even looking into because if and that was another thing that was so crazy. It was like I'm like if I don't use accommodations and if I don't research and if I don't look into it then like it's not real because as soon as I start to like shift my life because of it, it becomes real. But at the same time, like I'm over here struggling. I'm struggling when I don't have to because help is there. But then again, like there were just so many like dead ends after dead ends after dead ends. It's like there's so much of the negative, I guess, worked together in a way, and my brain could like string it all together in a way. And then like it's like when you have a thing, you got these little like if you have a yarn or a string and you have the little knots and you just like thread the needle through it and then you pull it all together and this perfect little whatever, like that was my brain. But now of course I guess it's like the positive. And I'm like, wow, like, but if I would have sought out accommodation, it would have helped. It wouldn't have impacted me as much. But of course, it's all a part of life, I guess. Because if it didn't, another thing is that like I met so many people in my extended stay at Purdue, and I was able to experience so many different things. Like I was in university residences for a while as like a front desk person, and then I worked conferences, and then I had my year as an RA, and like just the people that I met and the connections that I made, and then like my post RA time, and like from freshman year to senior year, from freshman year to when I graduated. Um, Again, like there are so many significant things that I wouldn't be who I am now if I hadn't had gone through. Like if I wouldn't have stagnated as long as I did there. Um, and eventually, like I came out of it, of course. And I have all these like my best friend, I met him in 2016. I was supposed to graduate in 2015. The one whose wedding I just went to in India. So if I had graduated on time, I would have never even met him. Um, who's such like a pivotal part of my life. Um, and like again, like there are the other best friend whose wedding I'm going to be going to, the one who just reached out to me. I love her so much. When did we meet? I think we met in 2015, but it was the summer of 2015 because I'm pretty sure I met her when I did conferences. That's how we met because we were in the same group. I would have met my other best friend. Now, my first best friend I met like my freshman year, so I would have still known her. Um, but there's so many people and so many things that I would have missed out on. And I guess the beautiful thing about life is that no matter where we go, we always have the opportunity to meet people. We always have the opportunity to have experiences and moments. Like, who's to say that life wouldn't have seen us meet in some other way? Or like if there wouldn't have been like other people. Like, so no, because I met her. Never mind. Just kidding. LOL. But again, like who's to say that there wouldn't have been other people? Like if I would have went to one school versus the other school, if I would have went to the school that all my classmates went to, like again, like there are dynamics that could have evolved over there. You know what I mean? It's not to say that anything wouldn't have happened, but it might have possibly not been, and I wouldn't have the appreciation that I have. I wouldn't have developed in the way that I developed. I wouldn't have been so motivated to be so dedicated and committed to my healing and doing everything that I needed to in my journey. Because again, like I can be the type of person if I don't have to do something, like I'm a Taurus moon and rising. You know, I appreciate my downtime. I'm a nap sun with a sleep in moon and rising. If I ain't gotta do nothing, I'm like, it's not my problem. Um, and like I know me, and I know that the divine knows me. But at the same time, the divine knows every iteration of me. They know the me that I am. They know the me that I have been, and the me that I'm becoming. I know the me that I am, and have connections to the me that I was, and I'm still becoming the me that I'm becoming. Where am I going with this? I don't know. I don't know. Are you a Taurus moon too? Did I know that? I feel like I should have known that if you are a Taurus moon, and I don't know that. But yeah. Oh my gosh, it did it. They did it. 6339, 44 8, and number 7. I got the 987 in the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards. Now we go from Jupiter and Libra to Gemini, which is the lovers, which is like two people. Libra, relationship expanding in relationship. So it's like beyond the relationship itself, the two individuals with Gemini, maybe. Also, for this being like where I'm going, it makes sense because partially because my word for 2024, partially because of what I declared for myself for 2024. What's at the bottom of the decks? Let's just see. We have the Seeker. What is that? Spirit in search of science. And we see these like doorways. Oh my gosh. That's almost low key those Tori gateways. That's one of the that is one of the pictures that I posted to the YouTube. I gotta find it. Community post. It was after this. Here it is. This picture with all those gateways, kinda sorta. A little bit. A little bit. Let's see. The bottom of the mystical shaman is the arrow, number 3. And then the bottom of the tarot apocalypsis is the Queen of Wands. I think it was her entry that I was reading when it was like drunk on beer. Was it Hathor? Because the daughter is Isis. And I don't think it was Isis. I think it was Hathor. Queen of Wands. Yeah, I can't pronounce that word. Inebriety. Yeah, because I only see community posts if I'm scrolling my main page app on. If I'm scrolling the main page on the app, and I get to the point where they have community posts, they took the tab off of subscriptions. Like before, on the subscriptions tab, they had categories at the top, and one of them was community posts. Now, and they don't, and then they also popped up in line with the subscriptions, but now they don't. I don't know if it's a setting, but I'm like, they made it so hard, at least on the app, to just naturally come across them. Why they do that, I don't know. Drunk on life. Drunk on life. We be all night. Whoa. Sorry, I don't own the rights to any of Beyonce music. I'm pretty sure it was her. Loki? Hold up. I'm in Loki. That's why. Yeah, this is Loki. I'm like, I'm flipping through Hathor, Queen of Wands, and I end up in the middle of Loki. And then when I went looking for Loki, I was in her. Oh, Sekhmet. That's what it was. Oh, Hathor became Sekhmet. Oh, not calling me out. Wow. Not uncontrollable, vicious, and destructive rage. Maybe when I was a child. Anyway, let's see what the first card is. The Healer. The Healer and the Seeker. And then there's the Sharpshooter. which is the Eight of Wands. I almost pulled the card before and after the 28th card and the 31st card, but then I was like, if I'm pulling 2, 28, and 31, I can just pull the cards. So we have the Seeker and the Healer. We have the Gatherer and the Arrow, which is a 3-3, 3 and 21. And then Queen of Wands and the 10 of Wands. Ooh. I don't know. I feel like this is pretty much over. So the Prince of Swords, Eight of Wands, and the All Gifted is definitely like where I've been. The energy now, when the sacrifice and the child. Now this could be, and maybe it already has been. I guess I just turned 31 today, but this is current energy. I don't know. I can't remember what this was supposed to be, honestly. So I'm thinking it's like current energy. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be current energy. Um, when the sacrifice and the child. So the reason why I talked about, especially, um, how I chose to sacrifice interpersonal relationships with this wind card, there are certain things that may be coming back. Like, again, so part of my plan, part of the reason why I chose Purdue is because when I was touring, they talked about in a co-op program, and a lot of universities, I'm sure, have co-op programs. And a co-op is basically, the structure might be different, but it's like you go to class for a semester, you intern for a semester, class semester, intern semester, class semester, intern semester. Sometimes with the co-op, you intern at the same place. And so it's like the more classes you take and as you acquire knowledge, you get to use your internship to see how it applies in industry or in the real world. And then you learn more and blah, blah, blah. And when you do the internships, you get paid. So I was like, okay, like the money from the co-ops will offset the cost of tuition. Now, my first year, I didn't do academically well enough to qualify for the co-op program because the winners at Purdue, because with my eye condition, like I'm night blind, right? And so now in the winter, I go to class when it's dark outside. I get out of class when it's dark outside. I don't have any time to like. I remember my freshman year, I think there was like, I ended up going to the anime club call out. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what? But then I was like, well, anime club is at like 7 or whatever at night and it's dark. So can't do that. Also, again, because I was in that, like, I don't want to get attached to people. I was a loner. I was away from home for the first time. It was just a recipe for mental health disaster. Um, and so, but like every winter, that like I go to class in the dark, I get out of class in the dark, and I feel like I can't do anything. It affected like my mental health, of course. So I would spiral in and out of depression all semester, perform poorly. In the spring semester, have to bounce back. And so that's basically why it almost took me twice as long because every spring I had to recover from the previous fall. Um, but I worked extra hard. Well, I guess it was also the spring following that fall because you have like until your sophomore semester or whatever, or sophomore year. So in my third semester, I recovered my GPA high enough to qualify for the co-op program. I go to the call out, I get scheduled for interviews and everything, and I'm super excited. But then that's when the realization hit me that if I have an internship, I'm going to be in who knows what city all by myself, responsible for getting like not only for getting to and from work, but also for living. and I don't know if I'm going to be able to see. So I didn't end up doing that. And then, of course, when I didn't end up doing that, especially after I worked so hard and when it was a part of my plan, spiral. Everything triggered a depressive spiral. Uh, but that's one of the things. I guess it's not necessarily in the grand scheme of the infinite web of possibilities. There are possibilities where that's not in my super immediate future. There is a line of possibility where it is, but again, but that's like also the reason why I decided to move out last year, because I could just feel, and again, like I decided to move out in the year of expedition for several reasons. Uh, but one of the big ones was following the year of allowance when there were things where like I had come up across my allowance and I was starting to say no to things that I really wanted to say yes to. I could just feel that there would be an opportunity for something that would call me outside of my comfort zone. And after the year of allowance, I didn't feel confident in my ability to say yes. And so I decided in the year of expedition, I'm going to move out. And like, I may be, because I still don't have a car, right? Because I didn't need one when I was cataract to, whatever. When I couldn't see, I didn't need a car. I got my license again and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a whole new life. It's like my life has kind of sort of been coming back to me. And again, I got the cataract surgery December of 2020. I had my darkest night October 2018. Started my journey November 2018. Got super serious. Me and my journey buddy, we were like together. We were like anything and everything we have to do, because she hit her darkest night a few weeks before me, and we caught up when I was a few weeks into my journey. So our timings just like lined up. It was kind of crazy low key, and we've been journey buddying strong ever since. Um, but we decided like January 1, 2019, hitting the journey hardcore. And so I spent that whole year really like facing things instead of running away from them, getting my accommodations, talking to people, making sure I like graduated and I completed my coursework. And like again, it was basically 2 years after I was of the mindset to like let me accept a lot that I was given in life and at least do what I can do to like work through it, that the doctor was like, oh, it's cataracts and it's a quick surgery. And I was like, and like there were so many games that were released that year. Kingdom Hearts 3 released, Borderlands 3 released. I think one of the Bayonettas might have released. Like there were games I was literally waiting years for that I didn't get because my eyes were that bad. And I was like, you know what? I'm at peace with the fact that I can't play these games. And then, like, little did I know what, I guess, because that was like January. Little did I know sometime later I would be able to. I've played and beat Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3. Borderlands 3, I got it and beat it. Kingdom Hearts 3, I just got last year. I ain't beat it yet. But it's just the point. It was like after I worked to a point of acceptance within myself for some time, then it was like, oh, here's something that we can do in the physical that will alleviate all of this. And I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, I spent at that time basically on my journey learning to accept it. And it was like, whatever. Why am I? See, I already lost my train of thought. Why am I talking about this? I don't remember. Purdue. Yeah. So, because I am who I am and how I am, with the understanding that the divine also knows who and how I am. It is not unreasonable to me that I would experience certain things to reach a realization. Like there are times when I'll be like, did it really have to be this extreme? Or did it really have to be this obvious? Or did I really have to feel this like called out or whatever? And while there is a part of me that's like, certainly this was unnecessary, there's another part of me that knows me, and I'm like, okay, which is why I'm also trying to like be softer. I'm trying to be more universally and divinely teachable, so I don't need such extreme experiences to learn the things that I need to learn. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be less stubborn, so things ain't gonna be as hard. Um, but again, like that's the reason why I moved out and the reason why I made some other choices. And I didn't expect to, I guess there are a few things that I didn't expect. I didn't expect to enjoy my own space as much as I do. I didn't expect to reach the point where I prioritize my peace like I do. Now, it's partially me prioritizing my peace. It's also partially me just being tired. Like I'm tired and I want to sleep in, or I just want to be like whatever, you know. It's partially that. It's partially like because I did have this because I live with my parents. And it's not to say that I couldn't have dated living with my parents, but I was like, oh, like if I get my own place, I can start like dating and maybe having like people over or whatever. And now it's like I like my peace. Like I love my peace. I love the lack of tension and the lack of like a whole bunch of other stuff. You know what I mean? And the Venus retrograde in Leo had me in a position that I never necessarily expected for me. And I was like, wow, I just like really, really, really love me and the space that I've cultivated for me, the peace that I've cultivated within myself, how that translates to the space that I live in. And I don't want to invite anyone or anything into my home that's going to ruin it. Because now when I come home, when I get off, it's like, you know, it's not all this extra whatever. Excuse me. And I also I didn't expect to be so comfortable on my own. Again, like I still don't have a vehicle, and it's not like I don't rely on my family for anything. Um, but at the same time, I guess I didn't expect to feel so comfortable being independent. And it's understandable because the majority of my life, I didn't think it would be something that was possible for me. And also, again, at the same time, I didn't want to be a burden on my family, friends, or loved ones. Like, even when it came to friends, I was like, self toxicity, toxic to me. And then one of my friends, I told him in 2016, 17. No, that was 15, 16. Um, I was like, this is how I feel. And he was like, you don't get to decide if the people in your life like show up for you. Like, because the people who love you and the people who care about you, you wouldn't be a burden to them. And I was like, yeah, but it was a mixture of toxicity and Taurian stubbornness. Because I was like, ultimately, I'm the person that makes the choice and decision. because I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to let you in. I can cut you off. I can have myself out there. And he was probably like, but he's actually a Taurus. He's a Taurus sun. But anyway, he was just like probably rolling his eyes at me because he was like, you don't get to decide if the people who like they can make that choice and decision. You don't have to make it for them. Um, I I mean, you probably know I love them. It's 11:01. It's fine. I love the mundane. I am so like we are humans having a 3D experience, 3D, 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 rather than us being spirits having a temporary experience. Temporary, we are spirits having a temporary human experience. So let's be like up here. I'm like, while we're down here, let's get a little mundane. Let's be muggles. When in Muggle land, do as the muggles do. I'm kidding. Um, oh my god! But yeah, it's kind of sort of in a way, it's coming back around, and again, because I've navigated my journey in the way that I've navigated it in these past few years, I'm not afraid. I didn't expect to be as like excited or ready as I am because I've never been in this position. So Cyberpunk, I haven't even. Cyberpunk 2022 was one of those games that was supposed to be amazing. It released a little buggy, but I've heard that they've had a lot of updates that actually make it like really solid. Um, so, I mean, I say go for it. What game was it? It was probably Bayonetta 3 after I finally got it. It was either Bayonetta 3 or God of War. Um, and I was like, I need to finish this game. I need, oh, because I had like my catalog of unfinished games is way too large for me to keep getting new games. Um, and so Bayonetta 3 was one that I wanted to play through and finish. God of War Ragnarok was one that I wanted to play through and finish. Um, and there were some other ones. I was like, I really want to finish this. I still haven't finished Horizon Zero Dawn, and I pre-ordered Forbidden West. No problem. I do need to go to bed though. Wait, what time is it? It's already 11 o'clock. It's already 11 o'clock. I told y'all I need at least more than 6 hours of sleep to be functional. It's time for me to go to bed. Um, but I get it. It's basically like the journey up until this point is complete. Everything that was let out of the box is let out of the box. Now, with the wind, the sacrifice, the child. I love the wind and the arrow together because the wind and the arrow together to me is something about focus and I'm going to use the word determinism. Determination is probably the word that I want. A certain determination to sort of like hit the mark. And because it's the wind and because it's an arrow, it's not, it's an arrow that swims through the air and the disology. It's like the arrow has to account for changes in the wind in order to hit its mark. Because if there's a sudden gust of wind that comes, it's going to knock the arrow off course. And if the arrow can't adjust like a magic arrow, then it's going to miss the mark. And again, the child could be, that's literally like, um, at this point, I am intentionally withholding my word for 2024. Because if I speak it out loud, it makes it like my journey buddy knows what the word is. I think she's the only person. um, I am at this point intentionally. I'm working with it. I'm playing with it. I'm massaging it. I'm trying to see what it's gonna be. Um, but this definitely fits the word. And I almost wonder if there aren't other things that I sacrificed as a child. And that was one of the things that my first therapist, like, when he said it, maybe it's all the fixed energy in me, but he was like, just because you made a certain choice or decision when you were a child, it doesn't mean you still have to live your life by that choice and decision. Like, when you were a child, you didn't know better. You didn't have any life, you didn't have as much life experience. You weren't as emotionally, mentally, intellectually developed. Like, you made a choice with your capabilities and capacity at that time, but you're not that child anymore. And for some reason, when he said that to me, it just like freed me from this obligation that I had to like all of this just beyond toxic, whatever. But maybe it's time for some of that stuff to turn around and then moving forward into the future, the will of life, the convalescent, and the lovers. Maybe the convalescent is a little bit of a break. Uh, because I've been so intentional over the past, what, 5.5 years. I guess it'll be a half in Taurus season. Over the past 5 years, I've been so intentional, um, and so focused and so vigilant. And it's not that I haven't had moments to enjoy things, but again, if there's anything that my trip has taught me, I feel like that trip in some ways was such a nice culmination of a lot of things. And especially for me to so easily and effortlessly like go and to spend time the way that I spent time. And again, just like we had a 10-hour layover in Germany. And we could have spent it in the airport because I don't know German. She don't know German. We don't know none about Munich. But I was like, let me look it up. Let me Google like things to do in a 10-hour layover. Oh, Marienplatz. Okay, well, how do I get from the airport to Marienplatz? Oh, you can take the S8 or the S1. Like, I know how to do that. I've been doing that. Maybe that's this convalescent. It's just like a lot of the big healing is done. Now, am I still going to have my personal shortcomings and triumphs? Yeah. But a lot of like the big ticket healing items, like I'm cool with. Now, maybe there's a few left that it's on the list, but 31 plus holds it. Cool. All right. I'm gonna just shuffle these up and get final cards real quick and then go to sleep because I'm getting older. I can't pull all nighters and like I used to. I just saw the naked answer. Excuse me. I almost went looking for the moon. The naked answer is the moon. Oh, that flipped over too quick. The Emperor. I'll take it. Sovereignty, authority, taking charge of my own life. Yes. Making my own choices and decisions instead of allowing fear to make my choices and decisions. And then death at the bottom of the deck. We got Scorpio. We got Aries. Where's Mars? I don't know. You know what? The tower can stay where the tower is. And then the force and the discerning one is behind death. I was just curious what was behind death. It's the force, which is strength. Aries, Leo, Scorpio. Oh, look, there's Mars. Mars and Aries is the Two of Wands. There's Mars. No tower. I'll take it. Cool. But it really is that time. It's about that time. The middle world, fire, and the journey. In a minute, I'm gonna need a sentimental minute. I don't own the rights to Lizzo's music or any other published music because Patrick ain't out there publishing music yet. My friend. So what do I call her? My best friend's wife. But I also adore her. My best friend's wife was like, you should do like a podcast where you just like say affirmations or like guided meditations or something. She was like, I love your voice. I was like, it's the Taurus in me, I guess. All right, final card, Mystical Shaman. That Emperor came out real quick too. Oof, am I triggered? I think I'm triggered. Because the Emperor came out as soon as I started shuffling for the final card, I feel like this is an element of also like decisiveness. Potentially. Oh, the Middle World came out. 36. This is the mirror to the 63 wind. Bottom of the deck is the Sweat Lodge. 54-9, 36-9. Middle World and the Sweat Lodge. Under the Sweat Lodge is the wind. 54, 63, 36, 999. Cool. Love it. Wind coming into the Sweat Lodge is interesting because then it's not as hot. That's like a refreshing breeze. I'll take that. I take refreshing breeze energy. I take that all day long because I don't like to be hot. Queen of Swords, Strength again. Who is that? Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. No room for the devil. That was the Wordle word today. I'm like, really? Really? First, Rob sent me something about Cthulhu. It was just real. It was kind of funny. Okay. Tarot Apocalypsis, final card. So Patrick can go to sleep, please. 7.5 hours should be fine. So that Patrick can go to sleep. I could just like come in all over. Really? Here's the Emperor with all these cards that I'm not going to take. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Bottom of the deck is the Fool. So we see the Fool, we see the Emperor. Well, the Fool is at the bottom. The Hanged Man and the Emperor. Now, the Hanged Man is with like 3 cards. I can take those. I'm not taking all these. I'll flip through them. The Emperor, the Emperor and the Empress. She's Durga. I'm pretty sure this is Durga. No. That might be a Nana Ishtar, actually. That may be a Nana Ishtar. I think Durga's on a strength card. I'm pretty sure Durga's on strength, actually. Not the Emperor and the Empress. What? I'll take it. Yeah, this is a Nana. Durga's on the strength card. She's the one that I'm like, oof. There are a few energies when they come out. It's like, Patrick, it's time for you to get on your ish. I'm like, do I have to? right now. Emperor, Empress, Nine of Wands, the Chariot, the Tower, there's Mars, the High Priestess in reverse, the Hermit, Princess of Wands, the Moon, Three of Swords, and Judgment. Those are all of the cards. Lots of majors. We have the Hanged Man, the Ten of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, not Lord Ganesh in the back. I don't know what's going on in this Ten of Cups, honestly. The Hanged Man, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles. This is what you've been working for. And this Hanged Man isn't like tied or bound or anything. But this was a lot of cards, so oof. I know. In due time, though, it's like also because I know me and because I know that the divine knows me, I get plenty of, and I think I mentioned this the last time I was live when I was like, my mom says that warning comes before destruction. I get plenty of like, hey, Patrick, hey, Patrick, hey, Patrick. And then the situation comes up and I'm like, I already know what I need to do because I've been prepared. I was like, I know that I want what lies on the other side of this. So I know that I have to say yes. I know that I got to show up. I know that I have to do this or I have to do that. Even though I would love for this to just like sort itself out, I would love to not have to say anything or to not feel like I have to say anything. I would love for things to just work out. You know what I mean? I would love to just like, there's a part of me that feels like I would love being able to coast through life. But there is another part of me that does find fulfillment in pursuing the things that I desire. You know what I mean? So, but there's a difference between like doing things because I want to and doing things because I have to. The High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, not the High Priestess and the Pre-High Priestess. Bottom of the deck is the Lovers. Oh my gosh. We saw in the World card. No, wait, never mind. Just kidding. LOL. We didn't see anything. But in the World card in this deck, there's an energy that's very much so similar in vibe to this. But in the Lovers card, they're actually touching. They're actually embracing. Or they're touching. Oh, this touching between the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups. I'll take it. All right. Thank you all for being here. Excuse me. I hope you all have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path journey, what you find. And I hope that whatever is asked, required, encouraged, enticed of you, that you find the resources that you need or want to get it done. So, anyway, no problem. Also, thank you for spending some time with me on my birthday. And I will catch y'all next time. Bye.